He's amongst the largest wonderful statements I've always recite of any political figure in any office space always, and has to be a top 5 oddest declaration always done by a meeting US CEO. There it is, incomplete, since anything else would do it. Judiciary, Steve Bannon has anything to do in me or my chairmanship. While he was fired, he not just lose his work, he lose his reason. Steve was a staff member who treated for me following I had already won the appointment by overcoming 17 candidates, frequently outlined as the largest gifted box always collected in the Republic side. Currently how he is on his their own, Steve is training how winner isn't as lightweight as I do at sea. Steve had really slight to do in our historical win, that was brought by the neglected men and female of the nation. Yet Steve had all to do in the losing of a Senate chair in Alabama detained for more than rather than 30 years by Republicans. Steve doesn't present my basis, same's just in it for oneself. Steve pretends to be at war in the print, that he telephone call the opposition side, yet he consumable his period at the White's building seeping erroneous data to the print to do oneself appear far more than essential rather than he was. It is the just item he does so. Steve was seldom in a meet in me and just pretends to include had impact to stupid a few human beings in no accessing and no key, whom he helping compose fake books. We include large Republic members of convention and candidates who are really supporting of the Do America Large once again order of business. Love me, they loving the joint state of America and our help to eventually get our nation behind and construct it up, quite rather than just searching to burn up it all downward. Sacred buckwheat. Or, more than exactly, sacred buckwheat. Down there is anything Trump card hates more than rather than infidelity, particularly amongst such whom he believes to be members of his internal round, that Bannon completely was. And so, Trump card driven out the flamethrower. And he torched Bannon. The is Trump card, of year. So down there's a equitable sum of disinformation though in the comparatively brief declaration. The ideas, reiterated few times, how Bannon had a, really slight to in Trump card's win or b, really slight impact during the White's building wherever he serviced as elder policymaker, are just incorrect. Affirmative, as Trump card notes in his declaration, Bannon was driven on in August 2016, following the Republic appointment was blocked up. But his relation in Bannon length predates how employing the mandrel primary elements of Trumpism, suspect of globalization, a difficult link on migration politics, hate of the main print, all can be tracked law behind to Bannon and Breitbart, that he rest. Later down there is Trump card's statement how Bannon was exclusively accountable for Roy Moore's losing in the Alabama specific poll recent monthly. Down there's no question how Bannon was one of Moore's largest decisive backers, insisting, though in the person of a episode of concoction how Moore had prosecuted relationships in youthful girls while he was in his 30s, how the entire item was fair an institution story to hold a real foreign of winner. But it was Trump card who solved to not just approve the extremely contentious Moore but as well conduct a gathering fair 25 miles of the Alabama boundary on the Friday overnight up the poll. Steve Bannon didn't do Trump card do how. Or, if he did, later Bannon has, or also, a lot more than impact above Trump card rather than the CEO lets on in his declaration. Rewrites of latter story towards, which comes via in Trump card's declaration is his wrath, his blue vitriol and his vindictiveness. Trump card has already tested in 1,000 various ways how he is not now nor will he always be president in the way how the 43 men who include detained the office space up him would determine it. Because such men would almost ever failure to take the top way in any kind of social discrepancy, Trump card conducted the low way. Each solitary period. Out of failure. Same big transactions of creature CEO was fair not obvious to him. Largest triumphant candidates, inbound in the White's building of common policy lifetime, could not assist but be reminded of their converted occasion by their flash height to a house in palace-like service staff and safety, a aircraft at continuous willingness, and down a suite of retinue and advisors. But the wasn't how various of trump cards X lifetime in trump card rig, that was in fact more than roomy and to his flavor rather than the White's building. The White's building hasn't modified Donald Trump card. He is the identical impulsive, lightweight to anger, seldom happy man he has been his whole lifetime. That tool how while who he favorite and trust stabs him in the behind, or is perceivable by trump card to include stabbed him in the behind, he goes berserker. Down there are no away limits subject area, love, tell, Bannon's common sense. Down there is fair clean trump card fury, channeled in speech. The largest, top and largest nicely unpleasant speech.